I just discovered irony itself. It reared its ugly head and presented itself to me. Flat Earth Library is the mouthpiece for this irony. And boy, reasons why people will fight the flat Earth knowledge. So the first point I want to put out is that flat Earth is not knowledge, because knowledge is true to the point of practicality. There is nothing practical in the amount of truth that flat Earth possesses. It is not knowledge. You can't know the Earth is flat because it's not true. So I don't know where reason number 1 is, but reason number 2 here, because I looked in Flat Earth Library's place and I couldn't find it. The ego problem. Irony itself. Due to a hold on, I got a problem with this. Can I do that? Yeah. And due to a person's ego, they'll fight you. See, you know what an apostrophe is. You have one right there. It goes here too. It's possessive. Due to a person's ego, they'll fight you and your new information because they value their words over you and your words. They can't accept that you might know such valuable truths that they didn't realize before. In defense of their ego, they'll disclaim your truths. So, what a flat earther often is something called a delusional narcissist. Now, I'll be clear. I might be a narcissist. I might overvalue my own intellectual ability, my own thoughts. I might have a bit of a savior complex about me. But what I'm not is delusional. Unless there's a pretty girl involved. But that's neither here nor there. We're talking about flat Earth. I'm not delusional. I don't just accept any old piece of information because I like it. I accept harsh truths. I accept difficult to accept things. And if you and your words appeared to be true by my very refined metrics of determining what is true or not, then I would accept them. Also, flat earthers, I don't not value you. You need to get that out of your head. I value idiots. I think morons are worth protecting. I think they need help. I think you need help, Flat Earth Library. I think you really do. But the irony, right, is that this is what flat earthers do. They're delusional narcissists, right? They have an ego. So instead of arguing logically and rationally and explaining their rationality, they will fight you and they will deny any information you give them because they value their own worldview over yours. They can't accept that you might know simple truths about the world that they didn't conjure on their own, using their own perception or whatnot. In whenever they defend this thing, they defend it because of their ego. There's something called the sunken cost fallacy. So if you've put so much emotional investment and time and effort into a worldview or an assumption, it will be tooth and nail to get you to deconstruct that delusion or whatever it is. I mean, this is textbook what flat earthers do. And the irony is like it's like not ironic anymore, because what flat earthers also tend to do is absorb uh, they absorb tactics and methods that deconstruct or debunk their own beliefs, and then they just flip it. Except instead of having all like the evidence and the knowledge and reasons, they don't have any of those, and so it's just like watching somebody drowning in a kiddie pool. It's really pathetic because they can't even come up with their own stuff, right? Let's move on to number two. I apologize for that diversion. Selfishness. On. Fuck's sake, am I gonna have to correct the grammar here every time? You gotta be kidding me, dude. On many occasions, the person is so comfortable living their own life that they don't want to simply change their way of life and couldn't care less about what is happening in the world. They are too focused on themselves. I am not comfortable living in my life. I am not comfortable knowing that the universe is infinite. I'm not comfortable knowing that a gamma ray burst could wipe Earth off the planet. I'm not comfortable knowing that I'm genetically related to chimpanzees. It's weird. It's freaky. It's uncomfortable. But I would rather be uncomfortable than lie. I don't know why I'm that way. I don't know what Freudian psychoanalysis you can do to me to discover why I have such, frankly, an inability to deceive. Because I can't lie to people. I'm terrible at it. I can't hide the truth. I'm awful at it. I'm an uncomfortably honest person. So yeah, it has nothing. This is obviously inaccurate, but it applies to flat earthers because they're so comfortable living in a sheltered reality, a reality sheltered from those truths that I just explained, that the universe might be infinite and that we evolved and that's weird, and that the universe is huge and unknowable and could some unknown force could destroy us or make our lives living hell at any moment. They can't accept that. They can't allow that discomfort into their lives, and so they deny any evidence to the contrary on virtue, on principle. I don't know if it's necessarily because they're selfish, but it's certainly because they're comfortable living their own life and the way they don't want to change the way they think about the world. They just want to like do whatever it is they do, make their money or keep their friends. It goes back to sunken cost again. They people make friendships through flat Earth. Like there's a level of community because it's a cult. So a lot of people don't feel ready to give any of that up to face the truth. Psychologically dependent on our own version of the truth. I barely even need to read this one because, again, it's their comfort. This information is not easy to swallow. One cannot accept this information and go on with their lives in the same way. Most of the people are not ready to be unplugged, and many of them are so inert, so dependent on the system that they'll fight to protect it. An example is in couples. Sometimes one partner, husband-wife, is so bad, violent, disrespectful, yet the other partner will not leave him or her because he or she is so dependent psychologically on them. So it is an effective metaphor. It truly is, but it's effective because it applies to flat Earths or flurfers. This is projection, right? This person is projecting. I don't know if Flat Earth Library is the person who like designed these little thingies, but you must be projecting because, man, I can't explain to you how much I hate this system, and how I I I don't want to protect it. I don't want to protect having to pay car insurance, or young men going into wars to be killed in foreign countries, or uh, the oligarchy taking all of our fucking money so that we can't have anything. I don't support any of that. I'm unplugged, man. I don't know what you're plugged into, but I'm not plugged in to fucking anything. And how it's because they're ignorant of their predicament. But how can you say you're psychologically dependent? How can you say that a person like me, an actual free thinker, an actual critical thinker, is psychologically dependent on my own version of the truth when fucking you believe that you live in a terrarium? you you believe that it's occurring to me that this is low-hanging fruit, because all of flat earth is low-hanging fruit, but they believe that they live in a terrarium and that God made them special and that humans are special and that everything in the end is going to be just fine. Guess what, flat earthers? Everything is not just going to be fine. You don't live in a fucking terrarium. God didn't make you special. If he exists at all, he doesn't give a fuck about you. This information is not easy to swallow. One cannot accept this information and go on with their lives in the same way. But you have to, if you want the truth. If you actually want the truth, and don't just want to pretend that you pursue the truth and then project onto other people how dumb they are because they don't lie to themselves about what's true. Man, fuck you.